The world's 10 strongest militaries. Number 10. Turkey. Budget, $18.2 billion. Active frontline personnel, 410,500 tanks, 3,778 total aircraft, 1,020 submarines. 13 Turkey's armed forces are one of the largest in the eastern Mediterranean. Although lacking an aircraft carrier, only 5 countries on Credit Suisse's list have more submarines than Turkey. In addition, the country can lay claim to an impressively large tank fleet as well as numerous aircraft and attack helicopters. Turkey is also a committed member of the F-35 program. Number 9. United Kingdom. Budget, $60.5 billion. Active frontline personnel, 146,980 tanks, 407 total aircraft, 936 submarines. 10 Although the UK is planning to reduce the size of its armed forces by 20% between 2010 and 2018, it can count on being able to project its power around the world. The Royal Navy is planning to put the HMS Queen Elizabeth, an aircraft carrier that has a flight deck measuring at 4.5 acres, into service in 2020, carrying 40 F-35B Joint Strike Fighters across the globe. Number 8. Italy. Budget, $34 billion. Active frontline personnel, 320,000 tanks, 586 total aircraft, 760 submarines. 6 The Italian Milita when placed highly in Credit Suisse's report due to the country's possession of 2 active aircraft carriers. These carriers, in addition to the country's relatively large submarine and attack helicopter fleets, drastically boosted Italy's ranking. Number 7. South Korea. Budget, $62.3 billion. Active frontline personnel, 624,465 tanks, 2,381 total aircraft, 1,412 submarines. 13 South Korea has been left with little choice but to have a large and capable milita in the face of potential North Korean aggression. With those realities in mind, South Korea has a number of submarines, attack helicopters, and active personnel. The country also has numerous tanks and the 6th largest air force in the world. Number 6. France. Budget, $62.3 billion. Active frontline personnel, 202,761 tanks, 423 total aircraft, 1,264 submarines. 10 The French milita is relatively small but highly trained, professional, and capable of force projection. The country has the nearly new aircraft carrier the Charles de Gaulle, and France routinely engages in military deployments throughout Africa to help stabilize governments and fight against extremism. Number 5. India. Budget, $50 billion. Active frontline personnel, 1,325,000 tanks, 6,464 total aircraft, 1,905 submarines. 15 India is one of the largest military powers in the planet. It has the most active manpower of any country aside from China and the US, in addition to the most tanks and aircraft of any country besides the US, China, or Russia. India also has access to nuclear weapons. It's expected to become the 4th highest military spender on Earth by 2020. Number 4. Japan. Budget, $41.6 billion. Active frontline personnel, 247,173 tanks, 678 total aircraft, 1,613 submarines. 16 In absolute terms, the Japanese military is relatively small. Nonetheless, the country is extremely well equipped. According to Credit Suisse, it has the 4th largest submarine fleet in the list. Japan also has 4 aircraft carriers, although these vessels are only equipped with helicopter fleets. Japan also has the 4th largest attack helicopter fleet behind China, Russia, and the US. Number 3. China. Budget, $216 billion. Active frontline personnel, 2,333,000 tanks, 9,150 total aircraft, 2,860 submarines. 67 The Chinese milita has grown rapidly in terms of both size and capability in the past few decades. In terms of raw manpower, it's the largest military in the world. It also has the 2nd largest tank fleet behind Russia and the 2nd largest submarine fleet behind the US. China has also made rapid strides in its MILITA-1Y modernization program, now developing a range of potentially game-changing military technologies including ballistic missiles and fifth-generation aircraft. Number 2. Russia. Budget, $84.5 billion. Active frontline personnel, 766,055 tanks, 15,398 total aircraft, 3,429 submarines, 55. The Russian armed forces are the unquestioned second strongest military power in the world. Russia has the world's largest tank fleet, the second largest aircraft fleet behind the US, and the third largest submarine fleet behind the US and China. The Kremlin's MILITA-1Y spending has increased by almost a third since 2008 and is expected to grow 44% more in the next 3 years. Russia has also demonstrated its ability to project force abroad with its deployment of soldiers to Syria. Number 1. United States. Budget, $601 billion. Active frontline personnel, 1,400,000 tanks, 8,848 total aircraft, 13,892 submarines, 72. Despite sequestration and other spending cuts, the United States spends more money, $601 billion in defense than the next 9 countries in Credit Suisse's index combined. America's biggest conventional military advantage is its fleet of 10 aircraft carriers. In comparison, India, which is constructing its third carrier, has the second most carriers in the world. The US also has by far the most aircraft of any country, cutting-edge technology like the Navy's new railgun, a large and well-trained human force, and that's not even counting the world's largest nuclear arsenal.